Imagine walking into a city where every road, arch, bathhouse, temple, and monument is sending a message, not just about beauty, but about power, class, discipline, religion, and daily life. That was ancient Rome. Hello everyone. Today we will look at Roman architecture and see how it reflected Roman society. Roman buildings were not only made to be useful or beautiful, they showed how Romans lived, how leaders controlled society, how religion shaped identity, and how the empire presented itself as powerful and organized. In this video, we will focus on four parts: social life, political power, engineering, and religion with cultural identity. Social life and public spaces. To understand Roman society, we start at its heartbeat, the Roman Forum. This wasn't just a marketplace, it was a stage. By surrounding citizens with massive government halls and temples, the state ensured that even a daily walk felt like an action of citizenship. It reminded you that you are part of a history much larger than yourself. Inside these walls stood the basilica. Long before it was a church, it was a palace of law and business. The architecture here was psychological. Judges sat on high platforms looking down, signaling that the law was formal, powerful, and above the individual. But the society also needed a place to breathe. The public baths were the communal centers of hygiene and leisure, proving that the Romans valued a high standard of shared urban life. However, the most honest reflection of society was the Colosseum. Beneath the arena floor lay a complex machine of elevators and tunnels, the Hypogeum, designed to manufacture spectacle. Above the sand, the architecture turned into a seating chart for the entire empire. From the sturdy Doric columns at the base to the lighter stiles above, your seat in the stadium was a physical reminder of your rank in the Roman hierarchy. Political power and propaganda. In Rome, a building was never silent. It was the ultimate political post. Triumphal arches were stone billboards, freezing military victories in time. When you marched through one, you weren't just entering a city, you were entering history. The spectacles within the arena worked as the ultimate propaganda. By providing bread and circuses, emperors gained loyalty. Gladiator fights and animal hunts weren't just games, they were displays of Roman discipline and dominance over foreign lands, making the empire feel stable and eternal.
Our next part is engineering and urban planning. Roman engineering shows us a society that valued order, control, and practicality. One of the strongest examples is the aqueduct. Roman cities needed huge amounts of water for baths, fountains, toilets, homes, and public life. Instead of depending only on nearby rivers, Roman engineers built aqueducts that carried water across long distances using gravity. This was not only a technical achievement, it was a social achievement. Aqueducts made large cities possible, improved hygiene, supported public baths, and helped create a higher standard of urban life. And this connects directly to another major Roman innovation, the arch. The arch allowed Romans to build stronger and larger structures because it distributed weight more effectively. It made aqueducts, bridges, amphitheaters, and monumental buildings possible. So the aqueduct and the arch should not be seen separately. Together they show how Roman engineering joined function with power. Roman engineering was also connected to urban planning. Cities were organized with roads, public spaces, markets, baths, and government buildings placed in structured ways. Next, we have religion and cultural identity. Religion was the final layer of Roman identity. The Pantheon stands as its greatest monument. Its massive dome symbolized the heavens, with the oculus at the center connecting the Roman state to the gods and the cosmos. But as the empire grew, so did its identity. When Christianity began to spread, The Romans didn't tear down their architectural language, they adapted it. They took the civic basilica, a place once reserved for law and authority, and transformed it into a place of worship. A style once connected with law and authority became a symbol of a new faith. So, through temples, foreign religious influences, and Christian basilicas, Roman architecture shows how religion, politics, and identity were closely connected in Roman society. The architecture of the state became the architecture of the faith. In conclusion, to look at Roman architecture is to witness a civilization that refused to be forgotten, transforming raw stone into a permanent manifesto of power, order, and cultural survival. From the aqueducts that broadcast a disciplined mastery over nature to the Colosseum that physically codified the empire's social hierarchy, every structure served as a calculated tool of statecraft. Even as the empire's soul shifted from paganism to Christianity, the Romans proved their genius for adaptation by repurposing the basilica. Today, we don't just view their ruins, we live within the logic of their design, walking the roads and inhabiting the civic concepts they engineered 2 millennia ago to ensure that Rome would truly be eternal.